I will be showing you that how to insert data inside your MySQL database using Bootstrap and using ProgressBar as well. So I will be showing you a real-time ProgressBar which will be showing you the real-time statistics of how much data has been transferred. So this is a demo project here. You can see that this is a user interface of it. Here you can enter two details, first name and last name. Let me just enter these details, first name, last name, and click on the save button. So as soon as I click the save button, you will see a progress bar animation going on in Bootstrap. As it completes, we get a message that data saved. So this message will go after 5 seconds. You can see that. Now if I just check the database, this is a table on which we are storing these details. If I refresh the table, you will see that these details have been successfully inserted with a unique ID, which you can see that. So here you can just enter any other value as well. Again click on the save button, so it will have this progress bar nice animation going on for quite some time, and after that you get data saved, and you see that it also reflect here inside the table also. So it has validation also. So if I click save without entering the details, it will be prompting me these error messages, that is first name is required and last name is required. And now if I enter the first name but not enter the last name, in that case also it will tempt me to enter the last name. So if I enter the last name as well, so it will save these details with the help of progress bar animation. So we will be using some jQuery as well in order to have the insertion process. We will also be using AJAX here also. AJAX is a technique by which you interact with the database without reloading the entire page. So we will be using quite a number of technologies in this tutorial in order to accomplish this project. So let's get started. Now to get started guys, for this video I will be showing you how to create a table inside your MySQL database. For the MySQL database I am using this exam control panel technology which comes with Apache server and MySQL database. So just download this and start these two things. After this you just need to create a new database. I have already created this database which is images upload, and inside this I will create a new table which is, let's suppose, user underscore table. So user colon table, and inside this I will have three fields: ID and first name and last name. And this first name will be varchar and the last name will also be varchar, and the length will be 30 character each. So just make it 30, and the first field is ID, which will be auto increment, which will be the primary key of the table. So just select this AI option, and then you just need to create this table, save this table like this. So your table has been created. This is the structure of the table. It has got three fields: ID, first name, last name. And now the process is done. Now we just need to create a empty folder. Inside this, create a index.html file, and here we will write the user interface of the application. So first of all, make a doc type, HTML tag, head tag, and give it a suitable title, which will be inserting data to MySQL database in PHP. And now after this guys, we need Bootstrap as well for styling purposes. So just go to Google and type here Bootstrap CDN, and the very first link which comes in, this is a link that you need to click. We get the CDN here. We need the first of all the CSS. So just make a link tag, href is equal to that, and for this also we also need the JS as well. So just copy this also, make a script tag, and the source will be equal to this. That's it. And also right here at the top we also need jQuery as well. So just type on Google jQuery CDN, and this website will comes in, which w3schools.com, and here you can just get the CDN. So this is a CDN. Copy the CDN and paste it right above the style sheet and the JS file of Bootstrap. That's it. So these are the dependencies. Now we just need to create our body. So create the body. Inside this we will use the container class of Bootstrap. So inside the container class of Bootstrap, guys, we will have a h1 heading. We will align this as in the center position. So we will give a attribute. This is a Bootstrap attribute. We will align it in the center position. So this will be inserting data to MySQL database in PHP using ProgressBar, like this. So the heading is complete, guys. So after this we will have a simple break tag, and just after you define your container class, just make 2 break tags to create some space. So after this heading we will have a simple form. So in order to have the form, we will have a panel class of Bootstrap, which is panel default, like this. So inside this panel class we will have the panel heading class, like this. So inside the panel heading class we will define our h3 heading, which will have a Bootstrap class of panel title, and this one will be simply be enter data. So now basically if I run this localhost, if I run this here, you will see this is the Bootstrap here that we have configured here. This is our heading here, and this is the enter data that we have configured. And here after this panel heading class, we need to configure our panel body class as well. So panel, just write here panel dash body. So inside the panel body class, guys, we need to have our form here. But first of all, we just need to configure a span tag for our success message. So when the form successfully submits, we will display a message inside the span tag. We will give it an ID of success underscore message. Currently this will be empty, and after that we will define our form. So form tag action we will not define. We will define only the method, which will be post. Method is equal to post, and we will give it a ID so that we can just target it inside our JavaScript. ID will be sample form, like this. So inside this, guys, we will have 2 fields which will be first name and last name. First is a label that we need to give, which is first name. After that we will have the form group class of Bootstrap. So inside this form group class we will define our input field. Just to copy this label, guys, we just need to move it inside our form group class. So just paste the label inside the form group class. So after this we will have the input, which of type text, and the name will be equal to, let's suppose you can just give it a name of first underscore name, and the ID as well to first underscore name. And the class you can give the Bootstrap class of form control. So basically at this moment of time, if I refresh it, you will see a one field has been added, which is first name. And what can I do here is that I can just copy this. And one other thing that we need to do here is that after this input field, we need to configure the error message as well. So if you don't enter the first name, we can just enter a span tag as well, which will hold the error message for the first name error. So we can just provide an ID to it. So this will be first name error, like this. So now we can just repeat this process once again for the last name as well. So I can just copy it and change this to last name, and this name to last name, last underscore name, and this ID to last underscore name, and this one to last underscore name underscore error. That's it. So now if I refresh it, you will see two fields will be there: first name, last name. And one other thing that we need to do here is that, guys, we need to also have our submit button as well. So this will be having a class of form group and also a additional attribute of align, which will be in the center position. So inside this we will have our submit, input type submit, and the value will be save, like this. And we can also give it a bootstrap class of btn info. And we can also give it a name and the ID as well. So name is equal to save and the ID will also be equal to save. That's it. So now if I look at here, you will see a save button in the center position on the screen. So our markup is almost complete here. Now we just need to have our just after the form we need to have a simple markup to display the progress bar as well. So just after the form tag we will define a div which will have a class of progress bar. So this is a bootstrap class, progress bar. Another class which is progress bar stripped, and one other class which is active. So three classes we have given. First is progress bar, and then progress bar stripped, and third class is active. So now inside this we also need to define sorry guys, just delete this. I have defined a wrong syntax here. First of all, after the form we need to define a div which will be having a class of form group, and after that we also need to define the ID as well. So this is the ID of, let's suppose, progress, so that we can just target it in JavaScript. And currently the style attribute will be equal to display to none. So currently when you load the page, it will not be visible to the user. So inside this we will have our progress class like this. So this is a bootstrap class. So inside this progress class we will have our progress bar class, which is progress bar striped or stripped, and active. So these three classes like this. So this is a complete markup. So additionally, after initializing these three classes, we also need to define some attributes of our progress bar. First is a role attribute. So role will be equal to progress bar, and we need to define the minimum value of progress bar, which is area dot value min. So this is so minimum value will be 0 and the maximum value of progress bar will be value max, like this. So this will be 100, like this. So this is a complete markup of the application that we have defined here. So now we just need to write our JavaScript code. So now if I refresh it, you will see nothing on the screen because the progress bar is not visible to you. So that is the scene here. So now guys, one error you will be seeing that this is not taking the shape of a bootstrap panel class. This is not looking good. The real reason that I figured out is that due to the CDN that we have included inside our index.html file, which is This CDN is, I think that this CDN sometimes doesn't work. So to rectify this problem, you need to go to the official website of Bootstrap. So now if you just search on Google, that is Max CDN Bootstrap. If you just search this, you will get to the official website of Bootstrap, which is getbootstrap.com. And here you will get the CDN links, which works all the time. So you just need to copy paste all this stuff here, copy this, and just after you imported the jQuery like this, after the script tag, you just need to paste it here like this, paste it all this stuff. And now basically if you refresh the application, you will see a panel class. If I refresh it, now you will see that this is taking the shape of a panel class. This is exactly what we wanted. And now we will write our JavaScript code in order to insert data to our database. So now guys, we will write our JavaScript code. So just after the body tag, define a custom script tag here, right here, script tag. And here we just need to write the document ready function of jQuery, which is a popular function. So when all the documents are loaded, we just need to execute this jQuery code. And here first of all, we just need to target our example form, which we have given a ID, which is sample underscore form. So you can just also cross check as well. So if you go to the HTML here, you have come across a form. We have given this ID, which is sample underscore form. So now we are just targeting it by ID. So now we will use the on method. So when the form is submitted like this, so when the submit event is triggered, we just need to write this callback function which get executed. We will pass this event object, and first of all we will make sure that we execute e.prevent default. So basically it will prevent the default behavior of the form, which will auto submit the form for us. So just write this line e.prevent default, and now we will create a next variable which will count error. So basically this variable will hold the number of errors which are there inside the application. And now we will first of all check for the error if the user has left the first name field empty. So we will target the first name field by its ID, which is first underscore name. So basically we will check here dot value. So if the dot value is equal to empty like this, so if the first name field is empty, then we can just define a custom error message. This error message we have given is in the span tag. We have given the ID of it, first name underscore error. Then we can just initialize the HTML to like this, or we can just use the text method as well. Please enter, or we can just say here first name is required. That's it guys. So now inside the else block, if the user has entered the first name, then we need to delete it as well. So here what we can do here is that we can target first name error, first underscore name underscore error dot text, and we can delete it like this. So that's it guys. And also here we also need to increment this count error variable plus plus, so to track of how many errors are there inside the application. So now basically if I test it here, if I left behind, click the save button, you will see that first name is required like this. And you will notice that this is not coming in the red color. I have just made a mistake here inside my HTML here. I need to give it a ID or class or bootstrap class of alert danger class. Alert danger. So this is a bootstrap class just for it is showing here. Let me just see guys, what is span ID. Oh sorry, this class will be text danger. That is the, we need to write this class as text danger. and also you do it for the last name as well. So just add this class text danger, and now basically if you test it here, if you refresh, click save, and you will see that first name is required. It is happening in the inside red color, so we are correct here. And now I will be repeating this process for the last name as well. So copy this if else block and change it for the last name. So this will be last underscore name underscore error. So this will be last name is required. That's it, guys. So now if I refresh it, if I don't enter any sort of details, let's suppose click save, you will see that last name is required. If I enter the first name but not enter the last name, you will see that last name is required. Now the validation is correct now. So after this we will check for the any kind of error is there or not. So we will check the count error variable. So if count error is equal to 0, so it generally means that if no error is there, in that case we need to process the form. In the else block we can just return false here like this. So the first step we need to do here is that we need to make sure that we make use of AJAX, which is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So there is some methods which are there inside jQuery in order to implement AJAX, which is $.ajax. So here these take some options. First it takes the URL. So what URL that you need to process? We will be using a process.php file which we will create in the next step, and here we also need to tell the method as well. So this will be a post method. We need to post things. We will be posting the first name and the last name, and the third argument it takes is the actual data that we want to submit it. So we will be submitting the data which will be coming from the form, which will be there dollar. In the parentheses we will write this here. This signifies the current form that we are processing. We need to serialize the data, so we will be using the serialize method like this. That's it. Put a comma. After getting the data, we need to also handle before send. So basically this before send is a callback function which get executed whenever we are not sending the request. Just before the send method is triggered, this method will be called. So here we just need to have a progress bar. So here first of all we will be disabling the button. So we have given the ID to the button which is save. We will be removing the attribute which is the attribute name which is disabled. We will be giving the value also to disabled. So basically this will disable the button for us like this. And next we also need to show the progress bar as well. So we have given the ID to the progress bar which is process, and then we will be manipulating the display property which is display to block like this. So basically if I just show you in the HTML, we have given this progress bar the ID. You can see that I think sorry, this ID is progress not process, so just make sure that this is progress. So now basically if I just show you, if I enter the details here, click first name, last name, click save, you will see that the button will be disabled and now the progress bar will be showing up. You can see that. So this is meant by this before send callback function. And now we need to handle the success part as well. So basically this is a success callback function which when the PHP script sends the data back to the AJAX call, so this will hold the data for us. So what we have to do here is that we need to create a percentage variable of our progress bar. So this will be equal to 0 early on, and now we need to create the timer of the progress bar. So basically for that I will be using the set interval method. So it will be executing after each 1 second. So 1 second is equal to 1000 millisecond. So in each iteration I will be incrementing the percentage by 20. You can just play with your own progress bar. I will be using 20, and then I will be calling a simple method which will be progress underscore bar underscore process, and then I will be passing the current percentage of the progress bar plus the timer as well. And now I just need to create this function, which is function progress bar process, and it will hold the percentage and the timer as well. So now inside this, guys, we just need to write a simple function. So first of all, we will make the width. First of all, we will target the progress bar by the class that we have given to it, which is dot progress bar, and we will be making use of the CSS method, and we will be manipulating the width property to the percentage that we have got here, percentage, and then we will concatenate the percentage sign like this. That's it. So this will be making sure that the width is equal to the percentage that we have got, and then we will track down if the percentage exceeds 100. In that case, we just need to hide the progress bar. So first of all, in order to hide it, we will use the clear interval method, and then we will pass the timer as well. So this will stop the progress bar. After that, we also need to reset the form as well. So we will first of all target it by its ID, and the first element is 0, and we will use the reset method. So this will reset the fields for us like this. And now we will also hide the progress bar, which is, we will first of all use the ID, which is progress, and we will use the CSS method, and we will change the display property to none like this. Next, we also need to reset the width as well to the progress bar. So this will be, we will use the class that we have given to it, the CSS property. The width, we need to initialize it to 0%. So here 0% like this. So after this, we also need to undisable the button as well. So first of all, we will also target the button, which we have given a ID of save, attribute disabled, and this we need to initialize it to false. So this will undisable the button for us once the animation is gone of progress bar. And now we also need to show the success message as well. So we have given a span tag, and we have given an ID of success message, and here we just need to append some HTML tag here, which is div, which will have a class of alert success, close the div as well. So inside this div, we will be saying, sorry, this needs to go in the same line. We can just say that data saved like this. And now we also need to hide this success message after 5 seconds. So for that, we can just use the set timeout method after 5 seconds. So here I can just provide 5000 milliseconds. So here what we can do here is that we can target it by the ID that we have given, which is success message. And then we can just use the .html to nothing, that will hide it. So that's it. So this is a complete function that we have configured here. Now we just need to make our PHP script, which is process.php, which will actually inject the data inside the database. So process.php. So just make the PHP tags. So here first of all, we just need to make the connect variable, which will be actually be connecting to our database. So this will be new PDO. So we will be using PHP data objects for our connection, which here we first of all need to provide MySQL colon, host will be equal to, in this case, localhost, semicolon, database name will be equal to whatever database that you have given. Mine is images upload, and after that put a comma, and here you just need to provide the username, which is root, and next the password, which is default password, which is nothing. After configuring the connect variable, we just need to check if all the variables are set or not. So $post, so we have given this name attribute, which is first underscore name. So if the variable is set, so in that case we just need to go with the process. So here just put a semicolon. So first of all, we just need to make our data, and we will be using the array method. So the first property will be underscore first name. So this will correspond to, this is a colon symbol. We will use a trim method to remove the spaces. So this will be equal to first underscore name. And the next property which we will got here is the last name. So underscore last. So again we will use a trim method. So this will be $post last name. So now we have successfully prepared the data that we need to insert into the database. Now we will make a simple query here, SQL query. So this will be insert into, and followed by the table name, which is in this case, which is users table. So we can just cross check here. So if you go to here, the table name is, this is user table. So I can just write here user underscore table. And then we just need to provide the column names, which is first underscore name and last underscore name. And then we just need to provide the values that we need to insert. So values parentheses. So inside this, write here colon first name underscore name colon last underscore name. That's it. And also put a comma here, or semicolon right here at last. And now we just need to make a statement variable in order to execute the statement. So this is pretty simple, which is connect, and here there is a method which is prepare, and here we just need to pass our query like this. So this will execute the statement for us, and then we just need to statement execute, and we need to pass the data that we have configured like this data. And then at last we can just say that data inserted, or we can say echo done like this. And now the application is complete, guys. So just check here. If I reload the application once again, if I enter Gautam here, last name, click on save, and you will see a progress bar animation will go on. You can see that in each iteration it is incrementing by 20%, and you will see a success message which is saying to me that data saved, and after 5 seconds it will be gone here. And now if I check the database, if I check the table, which is user table, this is our table, one entry will be added here. ID will be auto incremented because it was the primary key. And if I once again insert it, click on save, you will see the progress bar animation going on, and the data is saved. So this was the very simplest of tutorials in which I explained from scratch that how to insert data to a MySQL database using progress bar animation in PHP, and also using some AJAX as well. So thanks very much for watching this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, share this video and subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.